AJ Preller was cooking on the hot stove today, and we got to talk about one of the deals that he made. This time it's with the Milwaukee Brewers to add Nestor Cortez and pieces to the Padres. Let's talk about everything that this means for what is the master plan now of a win-now strategy for the Friars. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you want to leave a comment on anything this trade-related or all other trade-related while we talk, much appreciated. Also, if you could hit the subscribe button, it'd be fantastic. If not, no worries. I will be here blabbing on about the internet, or blabbing about on the internet about the Padres. Easy enough for me to say, hard enough for you to hear. Let's talk about some baseball. Let's talk about this Nestor Cortez deal from the Milwaukee Brewers, where the San Diego Padres are very clearly trying to do something that I feel like signals that they feel pretty confident about where we're at, and that is add a left-handed pitcher to the rotation. As opposed to saying add an ace or a three-starter or they are in a category where today they made a couple of different moves, and you can go have the whole breakdown. Andrew did some deep dives specifically on some of these other players, but the A's trade, we land ourselves a lefty guy who's a 9-9 with a 5 ERA type of thing. Nestor Cortez is also going to be in that. I'll show you the numbers here for Cortez. They're he's been, he hasn't played a ton this year for the Brewers. He's 30. He's okay as far as like the grand scheme of things goes. Like this is not the game breaker. This is not the final piece to the puzzle, but it's, to me, a positive sign that the Padres are making moves to clearly add a lefty. I say that partially because the Kyle Hart thing just has not seemed to work out where we had hoped that his KBO success was going to translate in, because he won the equivalent of the Cy Young in the KBO last year, that was going to translate into a lefty who could sit at the back of the rotation at the 4 or 5 spot and just be a good, solid lefty. Because sometimes it is nice to be able to game plan in a series to inject just a change in things. Hit a lineup differently, had them see things in a delivery spot differently, whatever it is differently that you get when you add a lefty versus only letting your opponents face lefties periodically out the pen. So the Padres, in making these 2 deals, are adding 2 guys who will audition for the left-handed starter role, I would assume. The Nestor numbers, I can go back to them. They're not fantastic. Not a large enough sample size to say I have any judgment to pass on he's cooked and he's over the hill and all that. We ultimately are kind of taking a flyer on a guy that I would assume is going to get 3 starts, 5 starts, something like that for the remainder of this stretch of the season to kind of figure out whether or not he's the guy. And he's not. I don't see how him losing, going 2-2 with lowering that ERA down functionally to like a 6, but in having a decent, gives up a couple runs here, just a 5 starter, which we now need to replace some pieces with Kolek and Bogaerts and some of those guys being dealt. There's definitely some shuffling going around, so there is a need still to add to the rotation, which this is. But where I'm saying that this is a higher level thinking thing, the Padres didn't go out and just get best available pitchers. The Padres did not go out and land an ace. The Padres went out hunting for, they picked up other offensive pieces, fixed a lot of that. They added in the bullpen. They spent big bullets there. But then they went out hunting for a lefty, which is just, like I said, to provide some punctuation in the rotation and be able to think long enough term of we're confident in the product that it's going to get to the postseason, so we need to build a rotation and build a lineup and build a bullpen and build a team that can survive 7 games against Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, whoever it is that stands between the Padres and a World Series championship. You need to think of it in those 3 to 5 to 7 game type sample sizes where you want to maybe potentially look at going okay, we can go King, Darvish, Pivetta, Nestor Cortez, and then Cease. Or you go Darvish, you go King, Nestor, Darvish, Cease, Pivetta, like some of the any one of those combinations, it's maybe not about why you're putting Nestor or whoever wins out that lefty race that we're going to have down this stretch of the season. It's just the fact that you can punctuate it with seeing that he's got a little bit of a release point funk to it as well that makes it fun. So am I ride or die with Nestor Cortez? No, I am very positive about this deal though, because like I said, we dished some younger pieces in Kolek and Bogaerts, and you can watch all the other videos on all of those deals. This one was just specifically Nestor for Brandon Lockridge, and then we also get back a secondary piece in the minor leagues from the Brewers. It's a guy that is not going to be a part of this year's equation or even next year's equation. It's a younger dude who's the TLDR is he's a lefty, either shortstop or third baseman who is going to be maybe we see him, maybe we don't. But he's gonna be a serviceable minor leaguer, that's for sure. So to me, the core of this deal is adding Nestor Cortez for Brandon Lockridge. Losing Lockridge, you can like him, you can dislike. I know, like my mother-in-law is sad; she liked him, but I don't think it was one of those things where it's like universally all of you in the comment section are gonna be like, "That's an L for Preller. That's an L for Preller." This is a decent deal, but when you zoom out, is where I think it's a great part. It's a great deal because it's adding. Just like I said, that you're building the little pieces. We added some offense. The bullpen is stacked. So in that hypothetical that I'm talking about, getting into the playoffs, if you get, I get where these numbers are, but if you get good start from starter 1, good start from starter 2, Nestor goes game 3, and you just say, hey, get through the lineup twice. Give us 4 2/3 with Suarez, Adam, Miller now added into that, Morihone, Estrada. We could conceivably be like, hey, Nestor giving us 4 2/3 is perfect, because we can just let the bullpen take over. I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm very positive about it, in fact. So let me know, though, what you think on this deal. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you even think that Nestor's going to get this? Like, is he good enough even to win this spot? Do you have him going into the bullpen maybe or be in a spot? So, just what do you think? Where does Nestor Cortez fit into the San Diego Padres framework for the end of this season and their potential playoff run? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And like I said at the beginning, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. The trade deadline might be over, but our coverage is not. Andrew and I will be here all season long and into the postseason and into the off season. We will always just be here blabbing away on the internet. Talk to you guys soon.